What up, fam? This is Agree to Disagree. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. We'll talk Crumb of the week. Sixers trading Tobias Harris, and a huge Phillies win today. All that coming up. Agree to Disagree. Let's go.
Oh my God!
Embarrassed!
He's flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time. Welcome in, everybody. This is Agree to Disagree, only on A2D Radio. Every Sunday, we are brought to you by our doc, Make 'em Yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, location in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. No Nick Delgazzo today, but we have Brian Wilson, Greg Milakovic. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, welcome in. We got a lot in store for you today. Crumb of the week at the end of the show. We do that weekly, so if it's your first time watching, come up with a crumb for us. Tobias Harris rumors. Okay, there's a lot of rumors circulating, and we'll go over some of the deals that, or at least one big deal that his name was linked to. And if it is true, why would Darryl turn that one deal down? But there's some other rumors and rumblings when it comes to Tobias Harris. So we'll get everybody's thoughts on that. Phillies upcoming week. Digest a little bit what's coming up here. I think they go to Chicago, right to Wrigley's. Wrigley's coming home from London. So we'll talk about that series coming up and what else the Phillies got in store this week. Main topic.
It's at home against the Cubs.
Nats at home.
Right? Nats at home. Sorry. At Cubs, Nats at home.
Yeah, very weird schedule, week to week. Anyway, if anybody's paying attention to the baseball schedule and how it works, but very, very, very weird.
Considering you don't play as many NL East teams, it's very strange. You know what I mean?
It's just strange that everything's bounced around. You're just bouncing around.
Yeah.
Everybody's just bang, 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 around. Main topic game: Phillies, Mets, post game. Phillies with a huge win today. You know, dead in the water. Okay, the Philadelphia Phillies were dead in the water today, and the Mets have a 6-3 lead. And with all that, they managed to give up 4 runs in the bottom 8, and the Phillies had one hit. So error, walk, hit batter. Sorry, Phillies 5 runs.
So either what? Error, 3 walks, 2 hit batters.
2 errors, a walk, and 2 hit batters. Yep.
2 errors. Yeah. Okay.
2 errors, a walk, hit batter. That's how they got the 5 runs.
The one error was, I don't know what Beatty was doing on third base.
Yeah,
just held the ball. Then he made a terrible throw to second. But we'll take it. I can't believe they reviewed that either. Because
I'm not sure what they were reviewing.
They would have called that a catch and like a transfer. I might have got thrown out of the game from my house.
Well, that's how they got their 4 runs. Sorry, I don't know what I said 5, but that's how they got their 4 runs, like I said originally. Well, by those things. So that's fun. The Mets gift wrap the Phillies a game today. Ties into our poll question brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. Go book your getaway today. Listen, Birds fans, Phillies fans, both schedules are released. All right, they're both released. So make sure you go check out my friends from PhillySportsTrips.com and reserve your spot today. Go check out their Eagles schedule. You go to watch an Eagles game in a great city and hang out with former Eagles like Hollis Thomas, John Dornbos, David Akers, and the likes. Philly Sports Trips books are the best hotels and has the best Eagles available. You'll have a great time. Book now and tell them A2D sent you. That's PhillySportsTrips.com. Our poll question for tonight: this comeback win will pay dividends as the Phillies continue to make up ground in the NL East. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcast, we're there as well. As I'm reading this poll question and not trying to, sharpshoot a producer. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Or a guy who writes up shows. You know what I mean? Not trying to. Not trying to say that you could have went about this one a bunch of different ways to get the same result.
Sniper.
Scope.
So I'm going to ask that same person, One, what the hell does that mean? But no. Really, I mean, make up ground like this will pay dividends in the winning the NL East.
Well, making up ground in not only the East, but obviously more likely the wild card, right? Continue to lose games. You had an NL East in front of you. You went from a 1-4 potential homestand to a 2-3, which doesn't sound, overly great. But when you factor in that they were all NL East, those 2 wins almost count as double, right? You know what I mean? So as you continue to go in, if you go 1-4, we could go. Cubs are playing well. We could go down this hole where we're just a bad baseball team again, right? And for 6 innings, we did feel like a bad baseball team again, where we just, Carlos Carrasco just owned us again, right? You know what I mean? And the first couple relievers just did their job, right? So that's kind of where I was going with it, right? That not only is it going to mean something today in salvaging a homestand, which didn't look very good through 7 innings, but it also will continue to pay dividends as one of those games that you look for at the end of the year of, trying to, something that kept you afloat in the dog days.
No, I definitely think winning a series definitely helps you. You lose today and you have a really shitty homestand, that could take you into some dark things too, right? That could take you down a path you don't want to go down. So to be able to win this series and beat the Mets in a series for the first time since 2021, definitely should help more than it hurts. I'll tell you that much. Now, I really don't. I could do without the day off tomorrow after a win like this. You almost want to get out there and while you're feeling good and get after somebody. But now you have a Cubs team traveling back from London. So, yeah, I mean,
okay with that.
Hopefully this springboards you, right? It pays dividends, whatever. I mean, every win this time of year, no matter how you get them, is going to help you in the long term. But can this springboard you is more probably the direction I look at it as, right? And that's why I'll agree with it, because I do believe this is a type of springboard win. Now, to win the NL East, I don't know. I mean, that to me, the NL East hasn't even come up in my brain since we probably picked these things before the season started, right? It's stopped coming up in my brain. If the Braves win the NL East, good for the Braves. I just got to find my way into the dance again. And I think we learned that from last year. Yeah. And I think any team will tell you that. Would I rather be at home to start that process instead of being in St. Louis? Sure. Right. But, I don't know if we're catching anybody in the NL East. So if that's where this poll's going, then I'm going to disagree, because I don't think they're catchable. I just don't. I mean, they got imploded. I think they're too good. I think they're too good to implode.
I think we got to pass Miami, right?
And
I think that was I mean, that's kind of more or less. So you're right. I don't think we're winning the East, but can we get to second place? Can we get a secure spot as the wild card? But all that means though is in the end too is making up games in the East, because that's where you're, right now you're third.
Yeah, you gotta pass Miami. I mean, I would think that I don't think that Miami's not for real. I think Miami's pretty solid, but they're not going to continue. They're playing above their head, in my opinion, right now. And they've been playing, if you look at it, granted, they're winning games, which you have to do, but they've played a weak schedule this last month when they've been really winning a lot of games. So I think they're going to step back down some, but they're playing well. They got good young pitching. You never know. Their best pitcher hasn't even pitched well. So,
all right, well, listen. I mean, we're talking about. We're talking about catching the Marlins, or we're talking about paying dividends, because I don't think anybody cares about second place in the NL East. I
don't think we're going to catch the Braves.
Okay, yeah. Well, second place in the NL East doesn't matter. I can get into the wild card being the third team in the NL East.
Yeah, but I would prefer if we have the wild card to be at home. I hear you.
Sure.
It doesn't matter. I get you. Matter. You just got to get in.
Yeah,
I'm with you. You just got to get in. But I would prefer to play at home.
Great times. I mean, I feel like I've had more questions about the direction of the poll than I have about the Phillies being a wild card team. Yes, it pays dividends in terms of making it into October baseball, right? Sure, I'll agree to that, but I disagree, because I don't think it's going to matter making up ground in the NL East in terms of the Braves, right? True. In terms of the Marlins, absolutely. I mean, they're catchable. The Braves are not catchable unless.
The Braves are going to win 100 games.
Yeah, unless something happens with the Braves. Unless something happens with the Braves, they're not catchable. No. We dug ourselves that hole, right? And that's a hard hole to come out of, right?
The
It really
Braves
is.
have just a really full lineup, and they're going to score a ton of runs every game. They just score a ton of runs.
Yeah, so I'll
They're
disagree.
missing their top
what do
two
you guys
pitchers
say?
going into the year. They're still just rolling. I'm with you, Tom. I think I'll agree that we've used the word dividends more in the first 3 minutes of this show than we've ever used in the history of a show.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not going to catch the Braves, so I'm not sure that it really helps us in the scheme of the NL East. So I'll side with Tommy here. But it's a good win, and obviously, like Tom said, we haven't beat the Mets in a series since 2021. Haven't beat them in a series at home since June of 2021. So it's a big win in that aspect. Just beating that team that seems to have something over us is a big win, and the fact that they literally gave it to us after Alonso homered off of Alvarado, I think everyone agreed the game was over. So that was a huge win in the aspects that we really didn't do a whole lot. They just kind of gave it to us. They imploded, and it was great to see because there's nothing I like more than the Mets imploding. So love it. But yeah, big win in that aspect. And like Tom said, Cubs are coming back from London. Hopefully they're a little jet lag to them, and we can take advantage of it and play well in Wrigley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll agree to the poll. I'll agree.
Right,
I have to. I have to. I made it up, right? So
Yeah.
I have to agree to it.
I hope so.
No, I just think the swing in that eighth inning, of course, naturally, I think when you look back at it and wherever we end up, you're going to look back at a few key games throughout the year
That paid dividends.
and kept you afloat. In the race, in the wild card race, in the NL East race, whatever, right? But I do agree with you. I think the Braves are pretty much uncatchable at this point. But I think you look back at this win, and it's going to be like a light switch win for them to go on another run, right? We talked about they were just coming off a good run, and then the Braves came and took it to them, and then you lose that game yesterday against Scherzer, and it kind of felt like that you gave that game away just to save Wheeler for today, and then Wheeler comes out and wasn't his best stuff, so it's just like why didn't you just put Wheeler versus Scherzer and best man win and have, you know what I mean? So it felt like that they tried to set it up to go 2-1, and yet they almost went 1-2 through 7 innings. So I just think this game, the other side of it too is we haven't seen a big inning from the Phillies in a while, right? We haven't seen a big multi-run inning. You know what I mean? They're usually 1-2, and then they fizzle out. Regardless of how it happened, it was good to see a big inning, 3-4 runs come across in an inning to where, especially late too, where they had to come back because they were dead. You're right, Wills. That homer to Alonso was pretty much the nail in the coffin to me, right? That's, as I said, the whole criteria was this was a disastrous home stretch, right? You know what I mean? Should the Phillies sell, right? Those are what this loss potentially takes you down as you go forward, especially if you don't play well against a Cubs team that is playing pretty decent right now.
Yeah, I think they're 9-3 in their last 12.
Yeah.
Playing good ball. And, I mean, they got Dansby Swanson always wears us out, so I'm sure that's going to be fun. I don't know how good the Cubs pitching is, and like we said, coming from London, you would think hopefully we can take advantage of that.
Well, Stroman went today, and he got beat up, thankfully.
Steele went yesterday. That's their top two.
We're going to miss them, which is nice.
Yeah. We'll probably see Kyle Hendricks at some point, I would assume. I don't even know who the other guys are because I think the other guys are hurt.
I'm going to pull it up now.
Martian, the poll question was, this comeback win today will pay dividends as the Phillies continue to make up ground in the NL East. Agree or disagree? And as I'm losing my voice here more and more, I keep having to read out
dividends. We got to get a dividend counter. It's got to be at least 12.
Tyon, Smiley, and Hendricks.
Oh, Jameson Tyon. I mean, everyone and their mother is hitting Jameson Tyon right now. So hopefully that's a get right game.
And we combat with Suarez, Nola, and Walker.
I like that. All three throwing the ball well right now.
Don't get it.
Nola got screwed the other day. Terrible. We don't score a run in that game. He throws a gem against the Braves. And then Schwarber, and I don't even want to talk about that. That was brutal. That's just a catch that has to be made. That's a game you have to win at home. That's a catch that has to be made. It's another glaring reason we need to get Schwarber out of the outfield. That's really all that is.
Yeah, I don't see that coming.
And yeah, with Julian, I'm right with you there too. We are not hitting. I mean, I still think the home runs are coming. We have a lot of power on this team, evidenced by last year, but we are not hitting home runs right now. We're just not. It was good to see we've homered back-to-back games now for the first time in like a week and a half, which is crazy to say. But we're not hitting home runs right now.
Yeah, we really aren't. Not one, you take a guy like Hoskins out, you knew the home runs weren't going to be as much, but there's still enough power in this lineup. We lose Harper, obviously, or didn't have him, not lose him, but didn't have him for a minute, right? You got to get through that. He comes back. Now, he's in a big funk.
Yeah, he is. He missed one right down the middle in the 8th there with the bases loaded. He's going right. That ball's way out.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to stand by this, and I know whatever, man. We want guys that want to come back and get back and help their team, etc. I just think this whole thing was rushed, man. I just think this whole thing was rushed.
He doesn't look right.
His legs don't seem to be under him. I mean, simple. When you're driving baseball, you're losing baseballs. If you're thinking that's coming from the upper body, people are out of their goddamn minds. So I don't know how much you're able to do. This is the problem. This injury is not just a year-long type of comeback return from injury just because you got to wait to throw, right? There's way more that goes into it. The play sports at a high level, the play at the highest level. Okay, so about getting your legs, getting your strength back, all those types of things. I've been saying it to everybody. He looks like he's 20 pounds lighter to me. I don't know why. He just looks 20 pounds lighter. I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe 20 is a lot, right? But
I would say he definitely looks thinner.
He looks lighter. He looks a little lighter, and that's not a shot.
Well, he probably hasn't been pumping.
Exactly.
That.
So you can't get your usual workouts in, etc., through at least the first three months of this process. Now you start getting a little bit more and more as it goes, right? They rev you up. But you can see it. And now he's pressing for the long ball. When he came back, he wasn't pressing for the long ball. He was just taking what's pitched to him, base hits, right? Didn't care. Just line drives different places, spray the field. And then all of a sudden,
people keep talking about it now.
You start talking about him not hitting homers. And now he feels like, oh, shit, I got to hit homers. Makes sense. He's a home run guy. Instead of just, hey, dude, I'll take you batting 310 too. Yeah. So any way you want to do it, it doesn't, everybody talks about homers in the chat. That's cool. But there's other ways to win games, right? So, I don't need Bryce Harper hitting 30 of them. I need him batting. If you're not going to hit a bunch of homers, I need to bat you 290.
And I think, Tommy, to your point, I think you could look up and down our lineup at this same thing, right? You look at a guy like JT, guy who usually uses that right center, usually uses most of the field. He looks like he's trying to pull off on everything and just trying to jack stuff. Alec Baum, too. Now, he had that really good swing to right field today, but you haven't seen that in a while from him. Right, he seems to be trying to pull off and everything. So I think you could look up and down our lineup at very similar characteristics of they're all trying to, maybe because the world is talking about it, right, or the media is talking about it, they're all trying to jack home runs, and we haven't even driven baseballs a lot recently. Even a lot of Castellanos' doubles are just in the corner, right? Marsh's doubles are in the corner or in a gap, but they're not driven. They're just perfectly placed balls, which are all great. You know what I mean? We'll take them, but we haven't hit a lot of hard baseballs, in gaps, down corners, which then, to your point, turn into home runs that leak out, right? You know what I mean? You get under baseball a little bit, but you're driving it, and then, oh my goodness, that's in the seats.
I feel like we were, maybe not all of us, but what's weird with JT, you brought him up, is that he was on fire when we were in Arizona. He was hitting everything hard. And then it's just like a switch got flipped, and we come back home, and he's taking terrible swings again. That ball's out. Just an awful at bat in his last at bat today. Mm-hmm. Just 3 swings, that ball's out of the strike zone. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not quite
sure.
That's
the shit that I can't take. You're just off and you're popping stuff up. Okay, when you're swinging that stuff, that's a foot out of the strike zone, and
it was never a strike to start with.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Get back to your basics. Come on, man. Jeez. That's when you're lost. And it's like, how can you go from being locked in? You hit for the cycle. You were 5 for 5, hit for the cycle. You're hitting everything hard, locked in, and then you come home and you're swinging that ball 2 feet out of the strike zone.
Yeah.
See it out the hand. JT goes through such highs and lows, and we talk about it every year. But it's crazy to me, the highs and lows. It's crazy. And I do agree with what you guys are saying about Bryce. 100% agree. The only thing I will say is that I still think the power is going to come back. And I think he was probably going to struggle when he came back, regardless of when it was. So, I mean, it's okay that it's kind of early still, I guess. It's like my only silver lining to that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't expect them to be ice cold here, right? I mean, maybe the home run numbers are a tick down per AB, right? And rightfully so. Rightfully so. Like, I don't have to live and die by a long ball either. So there's other ways to win baseball games, as we saw by Trey Turner today, right?
Yeah, and we don't need him to get himself out either.
Steals second, steals third, right? They throw it away to third, gets home. I mean, there's other ways.
That's the stuff we were looking for all year.
All year. That's the kind of stuff we've been waiting for. So, I mean, like I said, there's different ways that manufacture runs and score runs and win baseball games. Doesn't all have to be by the long ball. So
yeah, and we don't need Bryce getting himself out either, because they still pitch around him. He doesn't see much to hit, so take your walks. Take your walks.
You know, absolutely. He's still going to be feared. He's still going to be feared.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're still going to nibble when you're talking about him coming to the plate, because he's a swing away from losing a baseball, right? So, you know, I just think he looks like a guy. He's pressing. He's flying open. I mean, every swing he's flying. It looks like he's like walking back to the dugout every swing.
After every swing, he's
flying open. He's pressing. I mean, that's the definition of press.
And you can see that too. Like you know, like you said, Wells, he missed one today. He missed that 94, cock shot that Scherzer threw to him yesterday too, right? In just in a go red count, right? You got to be locked in, and he just missed it, and which all leads to just him not being right. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, whether it's the, you know what I mean, the loss of body mass, right, and stuff like that, or just maybe he's still slightly injured and he's just trying to play through it, and it's having more of effect than he realized when he decided to come back early.
Yeah, for sure.
Just hasn't found his like groove yet, like everything's not there yet. I felt like when he first came back, we were like, oh, he looks kind of hot, But that was just like, maybe adrenaline, pumped to be back, all that stuff. But he doesn't seem fluid at the plate. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like he seems like he's rushed, like you said, flying open, he's not on stride, like Tom said, his legs aren't underneath of him. He's just not there right now. He's not there. And hopefully he gets there. Hopefully he gets there soon.
Martian, I mean, I'm confident he'll play. He'll get better as the season goes on.
Yeah. Listen, they're not going to shut him down. He's going to be in the lineup. He's going to play, and I think he'll be good. He'll be fine. But just hopefully he gets it sooner than later. Obviously.
Yeah, as the legs come back, you hope the power comes back. Well, just the average comes back, really.
Yeah.
Just not a million strikeouts.
Yeah.
Looking feeble, feeble ABs, right?
Yeah,
feeble
absolutely.
ABs. We got no time for that here. So
yep. But no, I mean, with the loss of Hoskins, you can't afford to shut him down once he's already back, right? And they kind of already set the precedent.
Yeah, and he's not shutting himself down. I mean, let's be honest.
And they already kind of set the precedence with Schwarber, right? I mean, if Schwarber is going to be in the lineup, then Bryce is going to be in the lineup, right?
I still can't believe that we're hitting Schwarber leadoff. I know, like, he hit some homers in June as the leadoff spot, but he's hitting 179. I can't have him leading. I can't have him leading off. I just can't.
Yeah. Not when he's this bad.
And honestly, Rob Thompson, I mean, he's lucky as hell the Mets imploded today, because I'm on a warpath that Rob Thompson doesn't know how to coach a baseball team. I'm not sure he does. Bad decision after bad decision so far this year, in my opinion, for Rob. I'm not a Rob guy right now. I don't hate Rob. I'm not saying we should fire Rob, but a lot of bad decisions out of Rob. Need him to step up. Get his fucking head right. No. Who just said that we sent Harper down to Reading? Me and Metal Mike? Are we serious? Come on.
I was leaving it up there for the people.
Come on. Seriously? That's a worse than terrible take.
Rojas is intriguing, but they're not going to make that type of move because I don't think he's on the 40-man.
No,
so you have
Rojas
to
is not intriguing. Shut up.
No, he's not. No, he's intriguing on his own. I'm not saying
Greg.
you're sending Harper down.
My Lord.
I'm not saying you're sending Harper down. But there's no room for Rojas to bring him up, so there's no point.
Yeah, he's not coming up. He's on the 40-man.
I was just answering the question.
No. Fucking dividends.
No.
Dividends.
Rojas will pay dividends for the Phillies.
By 2027. Yeah, I think he will.
I will say this: if he wasn't too young, I'd always rather have him than Pache. But you can't put a young kid in that role of never playing.
Me, Metal Mike, I love you, brother, but Harper's not going to agree with that. That's where I'll leave it. Like, regardless on like what's the right, wrong, and different. Like, we can talk about it, right? Circle jerk, talk about it, right? But at the end of the day, your franchise player. It's like saying, like, send Joel to the G League. Let him get it right.
Yeah. Joel, how about a couple games on the 87ers, huh? See how it goes.
He's like, I really want to go to Delaware. Sure, Harper cannot wait to get away and get up to Lehigh Valley. Because they really take care of the stars up there.
I'd love to catch a nice 5-game trip with the Iron Pigs, couple bus rides. Oh, it's gonna be spectacular.
I mean, Caden, we talked about Goldie. I mean, I guess if you're willing to give up Andrew Painter, then go in on for Goldie. I don't know if I'm ready.
Yeah, for a 36-year-old.
Yeah, I don't know if I do that move when I can just get Reese Hoskins for cheaper next year.
Yeah, because again, I think we talked about this.
And I love Goldie, but you know what I mean. Like, I love Goldie, but
love him, and love him. He's a great player. He's still a great defender, still a great player, but he is old. You're gonna have to give up your best assets in your farm, and you're basically saying goodbye to Reese, then, who's younger and the leader of the team. I mean,
wow, he's here.
Know. It's such a huge.
Yeah.
It's a move that sounds great on paper, but it's a domino effect move that has a lot of other moves to it. That's I don't know if you do it.
And we don't need another DH going in the next year with what we see from Schwarber in the outfield, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you need that DH spot for him.
Yeah. Kate, I know you say it wouldn't be Painter, but it would probably be Painter.
I mean, they're going to want Painter.
They're going to
That's
want
who
Painter.
they're going to want.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, could it maybe get away with some other guys? Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe our next 3 best guys.
If they'll take Griff McGarry, then sure.
It's just a weird dynamic, though.
But I think you're right. I mean, both of you guys have, the domino effect of what that means. And Goldie is an, A+ teammate too. So it's not like he's going to come in, but it's what it says as a whole, right? You know what I mean? Because he's signed through next year too. So it's not like this is just a rental for this year. You know what I mean? He's signed through next year. So that's the other side of it. Like
listen, I'm all in for trying to win world championships. So I don't necessarily care if I ruffle Reese's feather per se, but I don't know what that dynamic is like we just talked about.
Again, I mean, listen, these guys are all human. These guys are all human. It's sometimes and they have a good. I think we have a good thing going. We have a good locker room. I'm not worried about the Phillies. I still think we're fine. We're going to make the playoffs. I'm not worried. Everyone seems to be. I seem to be detecting a lot of worry in the chat here. I'm not worried. Okay, we're going to be fine. Our pitching's been dealing. We're going to be absolutely fine. All right, and I think we have a good dynamic, a good locker room, which is a big thing in baseball. And I don't want to fuck with it.
Patrick talked about getting a 5th starter. Patrick, I think you have him.
Yeah,
and I think it's Sanchez until it's not. Right, because you talk about a guy, and when you talk about this, me and Wilson, we made fun of all the people out there last week. We already did this. I might just go back and play you guys a clip again.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, like the 5th
didn't
starter,
pay dividends, I guess.
Yeah, the 5th starter was 7-6 when you take out Matt Strahm, but Corey Simon didn't find the need to do that in his reach around last week. Okay, so at the end of the day, is that we weren't our record was an indication on bullpen games. Our record was an indication on Bailey Falter.
Falter started.
Not Matt Strahm, but Bailey Falter was 0-7 or 0-8.
Right.
All right, as a starter.
0-7, I think.
0-7.
Yep.
So we were 7-6 with everything else.
Yeah, basically.
That was before Sanchez.
When we had the actual.
That was before. That was before Sanchez's last 2 starts, obviously.
Yeah, and we went 1-1 in those, so we're still 8-7 then. But I thought Sanchez threw the ball pretty well yesterday in a game that I don't think that I even said to you guys in the text that I didn't think he should have started. And I understand that you want him to be the fifth starter. Now you're exuding confidence in him. But in a week where we're playing the NL East teams and we had a rained out game, you just go Wheeler on Saturday, Ranger on Sunday. Everybody's on full rest. Look, now you let Wheeler go for an extra day of rest. Maybe it hurt him. He didn't look great today.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, I don't like doing that. I would have thrown Wheeler Saturday and I would have thrown Ranger today because I want to sweep them. But I understand that they want Sanchez to be the fifth guy, and we're showing confidence in him. And he threw the ball well, so I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. And hopefully he continues to throw the ball well because, like Tommy said, we don't need to make a move. That's just an unnecessary move at this point because we've been okay when everyone besides Billy Falter has started.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And then you look as you get into the playoffs, they're not even on they're not starting anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, only the
Your
top three guys are starting pretty much.
Top three guys, maybe four, depending on who it is, right?
Yeah.
I think with this rotation, I think you would see four, right? Walker and Suarez, I think both would get starts.
Absolutely. But it's only four. If it's four, you're deep in the playoffs. Because it's only four when you get to a 7-game series.
For sure.
So,
yeah.
But
Right.
I thought he did throw the ball well in what I thought was a give-up game yesterday, right? Because they used the top-end relievers to get the win on Friday night. And so you didn't have all those relievers available Saturday to come in after Sanchez. So it wasn't all on him. You know what I mean? And I think, like I said, I think we waved the white flag to your point, Wells, right? You waved the white flag and he pitched his balls off, which
we didn't hit Scherzer enough.
But we didn't have anything behind him worth
Scherzer was hittable yesterday too. He was missing his spots. I feel like Kruk was talking about that, or somebody on the telecast was talking about it. But Scherzer was like he was missing his spots up yesterday. We just didn't hit him enough. We had opportunity. I think
it was a national game, so
yeah, it wasn't Kruk. That's
who it was.
Who was it? Yeah. Somebody was mentioning it that he was missing his spots.
He was annoying as hell too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anything was better than that Apple TV that I tried to tune into for a little bit Friday.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing there.
We're doing. Alex says, "What's up, boys? What's up, Alex?"
What's up, buddy?
He says, "Trade for Goldie." We sort of just had the combo. Listen, I don't think anybody here is going to say
if they traded for goalie tomorrow. I mean, I'm not going to be like, "Oh no,
how dare you!" Like, how dare you do that to Reese? He gives back to animals. Like, how dare you?
And I love me some Reese, but listen, we trade for Goldie. It's been fun, Reese. I mean, unless you want to come back and be DH, we can ship Schwarber's $160 ass off onto somebody.
I will tell you one thing. That's where you change the key code to get in. You know what I mean? Like Reese's next day at work's a little weird getting in.
Hey guys,
we trade for Goldie. Reese is in the booth as they announce it. Well, this got awkward.
Oh, how about this? Patrick's educated you, Brian. Patrick said, "Did you know there's an option for Apple TV to switch to the local radio?"
I did not. So I'm going to do that next time.
Oh, good luck.
I was also at work, so I was fidgeting around. But it was pretty terrible, the broadcast. Just in general, mine was skipping in and out. Could have been while I was in a truck, so it could have been part of that factor. But I don't like any of these games. I don't like any of these games that aren't on regular TV. I don't like it.
Yeah, really appreciate Keith Hernandez coming to Philly to see the Mets play fundamental baseball. Yeah,
that's gonna feed into my Crumb later. But the Philly, like I said, the Phillies were on MLB Network down here in Florida, and they had the Mets broadcast. So I had to listen to Ron Darling, Keith Hernandez the entire time, and it was just I wanted to blow my brains out. I don't know how Mets fans. Well, they're Mets fans, so they don't know what anything is, but they're horrendous on air.
Big key on like Keith Hernandez?
No, he was horrible.
Alex says this lineup needs some pop. All our righties provide zero pop. Not really true.
Yeah, I mean Castellanos has our team leading homers. He's a righty. Well, no, besides Schwarber. Sorry.
I mean, Trey Turner can lose.
Trey's got to start losing some more baseball. I think I would agree with Alex that all our right-hander guys, probably besides Castellanos, because he's up from last year's numbers, but they're all kind of down. Their homer numbers are all down currently.
Well, Alec was up, and then he was out.
Yeah, then he was out. Yeah,
so, I mean, it's not like we weren't getting that. Like, we're not getting enough of it, to Alex's point, for sure.
Alex. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Like,
we're not
getting enough of it.
For sure.
But again, there's other ways to win baseball games. To me, it's not the home run that was this team's struggle early on.
We're not hitting 3 run homers, that's for sure.
It was runners in scoring position. I mean, that's been the problem all year. It hasn't been
up this week.
Yeah, like it doesn't. It came back and said hello. This past week,
peekaboo.
Hey, I'm back. And when we weren't hitting more home runs than any other time. We were getting more hits, more timely hits. That's the difference. Listen, I say it to my guys all the time, guys. It ain't about you know how many hits you get in a weekend. It's about how many timely hits do you get, right? Because that shows who's got something between their legs, right? The guys who can come up and get big hits and big spots are more important than the base hit with nobody on. The base hit with nobody on hopefully gets the party started.
Yeah, hopefully starts a rally.
All right, but 2 out hits with runners in scoring position win you baseball games. It is that simple. 2 out hits with runners in scoring position are backbreakers to the other team. They're backbreakers. Anybody who's ever played a game of baseball knows exactly what I'm talking about. They are backbreakers.
Especially if you like had guys on. You know what? Like I feel like once we're terrible at if we have second and third with 1 out, say, and we don't get the job done, the guy with 2 outs never gets the big hit. Like that's when it's even more of a backbreaker, when they think they're working their way out of a jam and you smack them with a big hit with the 2 outs. And we just never get early in the season. We weren't getting that at all. We had some recently, but then this homestand again, we weren't getting it. So hopefully it's the trend is changing and we're going to start hitting with guys in scoring position, because we haven't hit hardly any 3-run homers all year. I think we've hit like 4, which is crazy.
Yes, Kate, and I would go into a playoff series with Cody Clemens as my starting first baseman, because I think he's played extremely well defensively, which I think matters a little bit here. I'm not crowning Cody, but like I'm paying a lot of other guys a lot of money.
Yeah.
So like it isn't Cody Clemens going to win, necessarily win a series for me. Like there's a lot of high paid guys in this lineup that need to produce before I start worrying about who's producing at first base. You know what I mean? Like I could use an upgrade there, sure. But do I need it to be Goldie to necessarily win me something? No, I don't think so either. I think there's that fine line.
Agreed.
But again, Caden, I'm all in if that's the direction they go. Like if they go for Paul Goldschmidt, like I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be a
okay
man.
with it.
You're not gonna hear a peep from me. To me,
you're not going to trade for the MVP and me be upset about it.
Yeah, I probably hold off, knowing I could re-sign Reese back for cheaper next year, and it just makes sense for me. Actually, get a
Reese
win.
Might be back in September.
Could be. I mean,
he could be. He could be. Outside chance, we'll say.
Maybe a little bit more than an outside chance.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it could pay dividends if he's back, though.
Yeah, it could pay
dividends. Mm-hmm. Who knows?
I mean, and the dude from LSU, one of the dudes from LSU that hit a homer last night tore his right at the beginning of their season. I feel like, and he's back now.
Yeah, look at that.
Am I right about that?
I don't know.
You could be. I'm not sure. Maybe it was like their seasons. Well, I mean, that would be quick.
I mean,
but their seasons do start like January, right? So. But it would be quick still.
Well, it could happen in the winter.
Yeah,
right?
It could have been
a winter injury, and you're just getting back now, or maybe a fall injury, right? Who knows? But I thought he did. I thought he came back.
You could be right. I'm not sure.
Yeah, thought I heard it last night. It could have been wrong. Wouldn't have been my first time.
We're gonna call you right. I'm gonna say you're right. Sounds right.
Feel right.
Felt good.
Brian Griffin says Realmuto, Schwarber, and Harper are cold as ice. I'll give each of them some days off here and there. Well, they've been. I mean, they've been given.
Day off the other day.
Yeah, they gave
Realmuto hasn't sat at Schwarber.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bryce was off the other day. I mean, I wouldn't mind Kyle getting a day here or there, but Kyle is. I don't know. I try to tell myself that Kyle's got 21 homers and he does a lot for us, but I despise him batting leadoff. I hate it. He's terrible in the outfield, and you can't hit 179. Like I'm fine with you hitting 215. Okay, you can't hit 179. I'm sorry, no. You just can't. You can't. You're second in the league in walks. Okay, but you're hitting 179, dude. 179.
Striking out 700,000 times.
179. It's almost embarrassing. And not almost. No, it is embarrassing. 179 is embarrassing. I don't care if you hit 70 homers. It's embarrassing.
No, it is. I mean, you're not, because to your point, you're not even putting the ball in play.
Yeah, what are you
right?
doing?
You're either walking or striking out. I mean, he put the ball in play a couple of times today, but he the last couple of games, I think he was 0 for the series. Again today.
Well, he just walks.
I think he was
He
0 for the
walks or he
series.
strikes out.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen him get like a, I never think I feel like I've never seen a guy on second base and Kyle Schwarber get a single. You know what I mean? Like ever. You know, and I'm not a hate of Schwarbs here. Not going to hate the Schwarber.
I tend to love Schwarber, but he is really struggling. And he can't bat leadoff. And that's on Thompson more than him. But
yeah. And June came around and first 2 weeks were fun, but now June's wearing off and April and May, Schwarber's back.
Oh yeah, he's back.
Hopefully goes home to Chicago and gets hot.
Yeah, he's from the area. You're right. Indiana out there.
Played for the Cubs.
Yeah. He played with the Cubs.
I've seen somebody mention Andrew Painter in there, and I do think that Painter, barring a setback with his arm, obviously, if he gets healthy and ready to go, I do think you're going to see Andrew Painter throw some innings. I'm not sure how that's going to happen, like starting out of the pen, but I think you're going to see him. He's too good not to see. He's ready to go.
Painter, that is, right?
Yeah, Andrew Painter, yeah. And he threw a bullpen the other day. I saw that.
A full bullpen or
I don't think it was it was a full bullpen. I think it was a short.
No, I'm just saying length. I don't care about pitches, but lengthwise.
Yeah, I think it was I think it was a short pen. I don't think it was a full. Okay. They still said you wouldn't, if he's back, you won't see him back till like August. They were saying.
Yeah, and that's.
That was a short pen.
Like he didn't
short the distance.
Yeah, it's not a full 60
what they've been doing,
feet or 6 inches.
Yeah,
it's
what
like
they've been
45 feet or something.
Is part of the pen, he's up on the rubber with the slope, but the catcher's 10, 15 feet in front. And then another portion is the catcher's back normal, but he's down on flat ground.
In front of the mound.
They don't want him throwing the full off of bullpen. They don't want him throwing the full distance yet. So they shorten the distance, but still get him.
I'm kind of with you, Tom. I'm with you, Tom.
So why put him on the rubber? Just have a fucking catch set.
I guess
it's not like Andrew. Andrew Painter doesn't know how to be on a goddamn rubber.
I think catch-wise, he's out to 120 feet.
I was gonna say he may have actually thrown a full length pen, but I'm not sure. So I don't want to say he did, but I know he was short.
Just 20 pitches. It was a full length.
Yeah,
pen,
that could have been it.
Greg, go look up that. I'll guarantee I'm right again. Now I'm gonna be 2 for 2. And can we circle back on the ACL from LSU, please, too?
I looked it up. There's nothing that comes up.
There's something.
So okay, look it up.
We're gonna trust your Google now.
Steffi is going out on a limb right now.
Before they shut him down,
the whole nothing came up right there.
No, there was who's the lefty? There was a lefty.
The Beloso, the belly bombs.
Might have been Beloso.
I mean, he's the only one that I'll look it up again, but nothing came up.
He looks like a torn ACL walking around.
It might have been a full pen this time, but like a month ago, before they shut him down for the sickness, he was only pitching like 45-foot pens. Like it was short distance.
It was a month ago.
Yeah, well, that's why I asked Wilson: was it a full pen or was it a short pen?
I'm still confused by that.
I'm not going to quote on what it was. I heard.
I'm still confused by the short bus.
By dividends.
I don't understand.
We're gonna
why
we're gonna do a little league pen today. We're gonna do the little league pen. Guys, a little. Let's have a catch.
2023. It's typical. It seems. Greg said it seems okay. Seems right. Of course, I shouldn't be listening to anything Greg says.
Can we stop with the J Cave? Can we stop with the J Cave?
J Cave is straight flossing. What's he hitting? 380.
Oh my God! Can we stop with J Cave? We have enough quadruple A outfielders.
Greg, I don't want to hear shit from you. You were just talking about you were entertaining Harper getting sent down.
I was not. No, I did not entertain that at all.
You did. You answered the question. Is what you did.
I answered the Rojas part of the question,
which to me I would consider entertaining.
I've never entertained. If you're not sitting Schwarber, you're not sitting Harper. So let's be real there. And I said that early in the show.
I mean, considering our leadoff hitters hitting 170 and he can't play in the field, it's kind of amazing. Oh shit! Incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on the Jake Cave experiment. I don't need another lefty.
I'm not sure.
I'm
not sure that
was-
Jake Cave's any good. And who do you send down?
If he was hitting right-handed, then it's a different conversation, right? If he's a right-handed
100%.
hitter, then maybe it's like, okay, well, let's test this out again. Let's give him another shot. You know what I mean?
Bring him
But
up
he's
for
not.
Pache, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but he's not.
cool.
Yeah, and he's not as good of an outfielder at all.
I mean, listen, I got no problem of them giving Schwarber some days off here and just letting Christian Pache play. Like, I mean, just let him play a couple of days. Like, I'm not
Yeah, I'm
telling
okay
you he's
with it.
any good. I'm not telling you he's any good,
Yeah.
but like you know, I understand you're just waiting for the guy to hit another homer and another homer and another homer, but you know, he did have a little bit of a knee issue early on this year. These guys played a long
Put
season
Turner
last
back
year.
in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, like these
Let
guys played
Pache play.
these guys played a long season last year. Like, it's okay to give these guys a couple more days off here and there so they're fresher when we get deeper. That's all. I mean, they're not going to do that, but
Yeah, they're not going to.
did you find the ACL, Greg?
No, I'm looking at the painter, and it does look like he is back to at least full bullpen
Full
lengthwise.
bullpen.
So that's promising news. He's moved on from the little league mound to the big mound.
Guaranteed 1 for 2 right now. So, I mean,
Hall of Famer.
hard to not get the gold jacket out for myself.
Jesus, I never questioned he wasn't. I was asking the question.
No, I'm just pumping chest for no reason.
No,
You know?
I will say, Greg, you were very quick to nothing came up on the ACL when he
Right,
hit the
I
second time.
did look it up
That
first.
was a quick. That was
I did
nothing
look
came
that
up
up.
quick.
I'm trying to figure out who it is.
Oh my God!
It was one of their lefties. I know that.
He did it in 2022. It was belly bombs. K. Beloso missed the 2022 season with a torn ACL and meniscus, but he missed the whole year last year, and now he's back on a regular knee.
All right. Okay, so he did
yeah.
on a regular knee, he says. What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
He didn't have a fake knee before.
Yeah, his knee didn't pop out of his socket. We're talking about
repaired knee.
We're talking about ACL, MCLs here. Goodness gracious! I think he dislocated his whole kneecap, fell off.
He's got a regular knee now.
Just slid that new knee in. New knee replacement.
Yep, they got crazy
Greg
things
just
going
made
on
it
down
seem like
at
a
LSU.
college. Yeah, Greg just made it seem like a college guy had a knee replacement.
Crazy things going on at LSU. You just put new legs on guys.
All right,
He's got
so
a new knee.
all right, so I'm really batting like 750 in reality because I'm like that's like a half. That's a half right. You know,
We'll give you 2 for 3.
that's like a sacrifice.
666.
It's like I sacrificed.
Oh, that ball's crushed. Oh, that's a shame. Can they just end this game now?
Oh my god. Oh. Great effort.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's a shame. 17-3 in the College World Series final, game 2. I think it's going to go to game 3. I'm going to go on a limb, tell you that. How about the Angels dropping a 25 spot last night, huh? Quarter of a century by the Angels last night. Oh.
In like 2 innings, too.
Yeah.
They put
Tell you what,
15 up with 2 innings.
Chase Anderson, former Philly great, might want to hang him up. 13 in the third off Chase. 13 in the third. Oh,
someone had to take
I thought
that
it was
collar,
a joke.
right?
I saw the thing. That's like, actually, Greg, I think me and you almost text simultaneously. We're like, oh my God, Angels have 13 in the third. I was like, what's going on? And then I checked 2 minutes later. It's like 8 in the fourth. I'm like, 8 in the fourth after 13 in the third. What is happening?
Oh my god, he hit that out.
Florida's about to have 25.
He hit that out too. Oh my god, his
that
second
was a
of the
straight
day.
pop-up right there. That's unreal.
His second of the day. Well, it's that guy.
Yeah,
The
and that was a
Italian-
pop-up. Caglione.
the Italian stallion.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, 33rd Homer of the year. Pretty good.
Yep, not bad.
Yeah, Mickey had 5 hits. Actually, Keys, Mickey Moniak. 5
Yeah,
hits.
and Hunter Renfroe had 5. They both had 5. Crazy.
Wow, they're pouring it on.
Yeah, Florida may want to save some runs for tomorrow, Florida.
Good. It's hard to wake up the next day if you're LSU.
It's a tough one. To take it behind the woodshed. They're just leaving this dude in, too. This dude is just wearing it.
Oh, yeah.
They do have their pip, though, from LSU. They didn't want to use him, but in a winner-go-home game, he might throw 2 innings tomorrow.
What do you mean they don't want to use him? What does that mean?
Because I think they've overused him. Their star pitcher.
Well,
no, I understand you.
Well, what year? What year is he again?
I think he's I'm looking him up right now.
Oh, here we go. Here's 25.
It's a good move. It's a good move looking him up, though. It's a good move.
Yeah.
I want to get his name.
He's 27. He's a grad student.
Definitely 27.
He's going for his doctorate.
If Greg calls him 27, he's 21, and we'll draft him.
He's going for his doctorate.
He just transferred from Johns Hopkins. His doctorate.
Figured Louisiana State was the place for him.
Yeah.
Good old state school to wrap it up. Put a bow on this one.
He used to smoke weed with Johnny Hopkins.
I don't know why this feels so
How are you
funny.
still looking this up right now? What's going on?
Because none of these friggin' things work.
We made 22 jokes already.
All Skeenies.
What?
Or Skeenies.
Yes, Skeenies.
Skeens.
Yeah.
Paul Skeens. He's a junior. He's probably getting drafted, obviously.
Oh, air him out.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, gonna need to take the ball. Did you see the score?
He's the one that keeps. He's the one with the mustache and the Viper shades that keep showing in the dugout.
Wait, like yesterday?
No, that was Floyd.
Okay.
He didn't.
So Skane's gonna need you to take the ball tomorrow.
But yeah, he might. They didn't want to use him because they already did air him out to get there.
Yeah, when they throw him last.
Well, now you're asking it a lot.
My guess would be Thursday. Then, right? Did they play Thursday?
Let's see here.
I mean, he's getting aired out. I love how they try to take the kid glove approach. Like, we don't want to, hey,
if I'm him, I want the ball. And honestly, if I'm a drafting
Ethan says
team,
Ethan said he pitched on Thursday.
If I'm a team drafting, I want him to want the ball. I don't care. I love everyone. I get it. It's 2023. Everyone's so
through 120 pitches.
Through 120 pitches Thursday. Okay.
On Thursday.
Then give me 90 on Monday. Let's go.
I mean,
4 days.
3 days rest. 3 days rest.
3 days rest.
Yeah. CC Sabathia did that for a whole year for the Brewers, or half a year when he got traded.
Yeah, he's getting paid. I mean, they're getting paid now. Let's be real. I don't know about how much baseball players are getting paid though.
First off, he could take out an insurance policy right now for like $10 million if he wanted. If he's guaranteed to get drafted high. If that's what you're worried. If that's what you're worried about.
Number 2 pick.
Yeah, so if that's what you're worried about, you can take an insurance policy out. I'm just saying, as a strict competitor, I want him to want the baseball.
Oh, I don't disagree with you.
If it's me, I'm throwing. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. I'm throwing. I want that.
And he might come out tonight and say, "I got the ball tomorrow."
Yeah, I would hope he does.
I mean, he's throwing something. So
yeah,
but
I know going into it, they were hoping to not use him, just because they had.
I'm sure they were hoping to win. I'm sure they were hoping to win today and party tonight.
Yeah.
I love how they toss in the we were hoping not to.
Yeah.
We were really hoping not to, because we give a shit after Monday about his labrum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna you guys are gonna be there for him on the labrum surgery.
Oh, this guy's got a solid name. Paxton Kling.
He's from LSU. Yep. He's from Louisiana. Could have booked that one. Oh, he's from PA. Wow. Okay. I'll see my South down south. All right. We got to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll talk about a little bit of this news about Tobias Harris, the rumors circulating around about him, and we'll give you our crumbs of the week. Be right back.
Hey, Birds fans, the NFL schedule has arrived and Philly Sports Trips has all the details now. Visit the site phillysportstrips.com. This is sure to be an epic season. Be sure to go there now to make sure that you don't get shut out. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Don't want to fly? No problem. Gather up your crew and hop aboard one of our signature boisterous bus trips to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trip customers always stay at the best hotels and meet NFL legends. Book today.
PhillySportsTrips.com. Go book your getaway today. Giddy up.
Giddy
All
up.
right. So, some rumors circulating. I see a lot of people in the chat out there, talking about it a little bit as well. In regards to Tobias Harris. So if you heard a little bit, some of the rumors on draft night was that the Cavaliers were going to send Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and the Sixers wanted a pick for Tobias Harris.
Wait, what?
That seems fishy to me.
Wait, hold on. What?
Yeah.
I didn't watch the draft at all.
I have no idea what's going on, so
wait,
I'm with you.
Was that really reported?
It was reported. I find no truth in it.
Did we not accept that deal?
But
Because I'll trade Tobias for Evan Mobley straight up.
But why do we need two centers behind Joel? That's where I call BS on that. You know what I mean?
I mean, Evan Mobley's kind of power forward. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I'll still trade it. I'll trade Tobias for Evan Mobley right now.
Yeah, I'm good with one of them, but why did we, so that, you know what I mean? Like two of them in the same deal, that's kind of.
Well, that's probably why they said no to it.
Yeah, and then what's Cleveland doing there? Like, we're just gonna have a black hole in the middle. You know what I mean? Like,
I find it a little hard to believe.
Right. Yeah, that one I agree with you.
Yeah,
what was the Phoenix
It's strange.
Well, the Phoenix is just looking for the Sixers to get involved in a three-way deal because what Phoenix wants is Tobias Harris, reportedly.
Yeah, and they want to get rid of Ayton, right?
And they want to get rid of Ayton. Well, that's the only one that can do money-wise. Obviously, the Sixers don't need Ayton, which makes you then question the same thing we just questioned with the Cavs deal.
Yeah.
How true is that? And Maury asks.
So would that be like a three-way burger then? Like Ayton to the Cavs players to us, Tobias to Phoenix. But I thought I saw something today that Phoenix is out on Tobias. I don't know how true that is. But Keith Pompey put something out there saying Phoenix looks to be out. The Cavs. I will take Mobley. I don't know why we would want Jared Allen at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my point is, I know people say that Maury asked for that, the Cavs didn't offer that, whatever the case may be. This is the reports that are circling that I find hard to believe. Okay. But the point about Phoenix is that Phoenix would need the Sixers to get a third team involved that would be interested in Ayton.
Yeah.
So that's where that one falls. I don't know, how much.
Which you would think there would be a team out there, right? I mean, DeAndre Ayton's not bad. As a player. You don't like him as a player?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure that he's very good, and I think he's paid a lot.
No, that I agree with you. He very might be overpaid, but they have.
I mean, I feel like if he was any good, they would be really good because they have every other piece that they need really on paper.
Wrong. Yeah,
he just not very good. I mean, he got absolutely owned by Jokic. Not grand Jokic owns everybody, but he got torched. I don't know. I'm not sure that he's any good, honestly. I think he's definitely not as good as they hoped he would be, for sure.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. You just look at a young big, someone's going to salivate over that. You would think, you know what I mean?
You would think
to find another suitor, right? You know what I mean?
Who would be a good suitor for us? Like, who would we want to find? Like, what we could get something back from them is the question.
It's a very good question. Because
the Cavs don't move the needle for me that much there. I do like Evan Mobley, but I still think that leaves us a big hole shooting wise. And I mean, I guess Mobley plays power forward, but he's a different player than Tobias is. Better defender, not as good offensively.
Do you think Daryl's asking for that, and then in the back of his mind, the two-headed Mobley and Allen, and then the back of his mind is looking to potentially trade Joel?
I mean, I don't know. That's a. To me, if you're going to trade Joel, it has to be before the draft. I don't think it would be now, right?
No, I hear you.
And that's
But if he was asking for that on draft night, though, like if he was asking for that on draft night, then he may have been able to then flip that and say, all right, cool, we got this coming in. Now I can move on and do something with Joel. I'm not saying it's what I would want. You know what I mean? I think Joel's better than obviously Mobley and Allen. But if you're asking for two centers, something just doesn't seem right unless you're looking to move them. One of the three.
I mean, I'm always of the I'm always of the philosophy that no one is immovable to me. Like if you give me the right deal, I'll move anybody. But to me, it's like I feel like they fired Doc and brought in Nurse. Like, okay, we're going to build through Joel. Like to me, that kind of solidified that Joel's going to be here. But I could be wrong. Who knows? I mean, is that what you're thinking, Greg?
No, I'm just trying to make sense of what the rumors. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make sense.
It's a weird trade rumor. I'll give you that.
Why he would ask for that?
Yeah.
When you have the best or second best center in the league, why would you ask for two young bigs? Even if one is a power forward, one's sitting, right? You know what I mean? So even if Mobley takes Tobias' spot at the 4, then all right, cool. You have a backup in Jared Allen, but it's not really. Is it needed?
It doesn't move the needle for the team.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't improve us any.
Maybe not at all. It might actually weaken us.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Because they're different players. I mean, we'd probably be better defensively with Mobley in there next to Joel, but we would be worse offensively.
Right.
Yeah, and I think if you were going to move on with Joel, you do that prior to the draft too. I don't think that's something you're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly, Tom. I agree.
You're trying to recoup as much as you can get there on that night, then do it now and try to sell it to your fan base if you got some returning picks involved.
Yeah, because it's just because now it's a whole year before you get the picks. Yeah,
that they're not seeing that. It's hard. It's hard to sell. I don't think they're going to backdoor trade Joel Embiid. Like I don't think you make another move to bring guys in, then trade Joel. I think you trade Joel and then you start working on. Oh my God,
20.
Jeez. I mean, it is BP right now.
Yeah. Wow.
Tommy, I agree with you. You set the market by trading Joel, right? If that's what you're going to do. I was just, trying to figure out a reason why we would ask for two young bigs.
Yeah. That's why the deal
or even be in discussions with Phoenix when they're trying to get rid of Ayton, right? Even if you bring an Ayton, and it's just like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like you have.
Yeah, I will say this though. I mean, regardless on how we look at it, it definitely means that this definitely drives up Tobias Harris's market for sure. So
plus,
if
I
it
think
is
it's
a guy
high anyway, Tommy.
Yeah, well, if people didn't think it was
especially
high,
because it's expiring too. His contract expires after this year. So
sure.
On top of him being a good player, it's also a good contract. So it's
you mean an assassin scorer?
Yeah, I don't know if I would. I saw somebody reported like the Suns seem to be out on trying to acquire superstar forward Tobias Harris, and I was like, superstar forward? I don't know who snuck that superstar forward in there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I even would say star forward.
I mean, his dad called him an assassin the other day.
Yeah, I mean, his dad should call him an assassin. If your dad says you stink, you're definitely not good.
Yeah, for sure. Key says Pompey mentioned Utah, Phoenix, Cleveland, Detroit, Mavs, and Pacers. And the bad teams are all in it because of the expiring deal.
Yes.
The expiring contract. That's where the Pacers and Detroit come in. Mavs, Phoenix, Cleveland.
Even Utah probably are trying to win.
Even Utah to a point.
Yeah. Utah's got a couple guys I wouldn't mind, honestly. I could do a Utah deal. because we need shooting. I will definitely take who's always burned us in the past. Can't think of his name. Former Laker, now Utah player. Jordan Clarkson. Yes, instant offense.
Tommy brought him up as a free agent. I think he's a free agent.
Oh, is he? Okay. Well, never mind. That's a guy that I like.
I know Tommy brought him up early. I mean,
we need some scoring. Let's flat out put it this way. I know we always talk about, our defense is pretty good with Joel back there, anchor. Well, guess what? You watch the league, everyone's scoring 120 points. We got to score a basketball. I felt like when it comes down to it, I know we hit threes well all year, but we just didn't in big spots. We never did, I feel like. We need somebody that's going to consistently go out there and score the basketball, other than just Joel.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And I see a lot of Lillard talk. I mean, I love Dame Lillard. I don't know how, I think that's like almost a pipe dream, but Don. The pay.
No, I'm not laughing at Don. I'm laughing at whatever. No.
What?
Who's got somebody talking in the background? Greg?
My family's downstairs.
Oh, okay. It's classic. Who would put that?
Yeah.
Instead of saying, you don't put that in the freezer, you put it in the fridge. That's all
Put
I
in the
heard.
fridge. I heard that. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just go in the freezer, goes in the fridge.
Oh God, good times. That's like, is that his phone or?
They couldn't wait. 6 o'clock dinner. Couldn't wait anymore.
I wasn't sure what you were watching. For a second, I thought maybe you were watching something. Maybe you wanted the volume down for that one.
Freezer fridge talk.
He's gonna sit here and put that in my. He's gonna sit here and put that in my freezer. Oh.
I see where you're going now.
Yeah. Good to have you, I think.
Greg watching food porn.
You're just going over here. You're just gonna put that in the. You're gonna put that in the fridge without Ziploc. Make sure you protect the meat before you put it in there.
Wrap the meat.
Don't get a little saran wrap. Goes a long way. Keeps the drip from happening. All right, we're going too far here. All right, I'm literally have no voice, so let's get to the crumb of the week and get the hell out of here.
That's great.
Whoever wants to start. Crumb of the week.
Mine's Kyle Schwarber.
All right.
Oh my God! It could be the right fielder for the LSU Tigers right now. Kyle Schwarber. I mean,
oh my God!
he just saw that. Kyle Schwarber. I mean, what can I say? You're hitting less than your weight. You're batting leadoff for some reason. I'll blame the manager for that. He could be part of this as well. But you can't catch a ball. The drop on Wednesday or Thursday was such a brutal drop in a game that was such a well-pitched game. I feel like,
oh my God,
such a losing play. The drop of that baseball. You're terrible in the outfield. You can't hit anything at the plate. You're killing me right now, Kyle. And I hate to do this, but you're crumb of the week. You're absolutely crumb of the week. And I'm gonna need you to get your shit together, because you're killing me right now. You're killing me, Smalls.
Amen. Mike Crumb switched here late. Switched here and when we watched the Phillies game. It was going to be the umpires throughout the week. I mean, it's always a good one, but they just seem to keep copping up.
They're awful.
Mike Crumb is going to be that Mets broadcast that I had to torture myself and watch today. Ron Darling, Keith Hernandez. It was pretty funny. They did rip on Keith early in the broadcast, saying the Phillies should have given Keith a ring for lighting the fire for last year. But what really killed me is obviously you're the home team broadcast. There's gonna be some biasy, right? There's gonna be some homerism. These guys were over the top. Like when Schwarber's at bat where he ended up walking, they couldn't fathom how he was taking pitches that were balls. Like, it's not like he was taking pitches that were strikes. I mean, he takes those too. But, like, all the close pitches around that and they just couldn't fathom.
He's hitting 178. He should probably not swing at anything.
Well, agreed. But they just they couldn't wrap their head. And then even the bunt with McNeil, they were like, oh, well, if they were playing in, they could have gotten the guy at third base. And we're like, that's kind of running from second base. You're not going to throw him out, even if you're cheating in. You know what I mean? It was just the broadcasts themselves. They were just absolutely horrendous. Thank God I don't have to listen to them on a daily basis. I'm not even a huge fan of T-Mac, but watching them makes me a huge fan of T-Mac.
22-3. Jinx, Tommy. Mike, if you're Florida, I might want to save some for tomorrow, or maybe just keep putting your foot on their neck.
Yeah, unfortunately, the runs don't roll over Florida. So
I was expecting a bunch of Flyers trades, and they just have never happened.
Yeah, they were supposed to come down.
Everyone was talking about they're going to happen. They haven't happened.
Yep, it haven't happened. Torrey Krug is supposed to be the one holding that up.
Torrey Krug apparently is not going to drop his no trade clause. Is what I keep hearing.
Philly, yeah.
I don't blame him.
Absolutely. So I think that's the holdup is they're trying to find a team that will take or that he will. That will take his, that he will trade him. We'll take the trade to. But that deal is Hayes, Sanheim, maybe Lawton. I heard.
D'Angelo's going to go back to Carolina.
D'Angelo's back to Carolina, and we're going to
we're
take
trading
like
a lot
50,
of people. Which okay, I'm fine with that.
The only one I'll miss out of that is Lawton. I just have always been a Lawton guy, and I thought like through this rebuild he could have been a good captain. You know what I mean? I just always been a Lawton guy. Hayes and Sanheim, see ya, right? You know what I mean? Like Tony D, everyone else, go ahead, see ya. I've always been a Lawton guy, so that's one of the only guys that if he does go would be of interest.
Man, did you guys see Wembanyama miss his first 4 shots?
Shocker.
Again, just little.
Tommy's already on it. Doesn't think he's gonna be good.
Just some video.
I'm with you.
It was just some video. Nothing looked smooth, quick. I mean, this ain't a bunch of pastries here.
I still think that I think he's gonna be pretty good. 7'5". He better be pretty good. The hype around him. He better be. No, is he living up to the hype? I don't know. That's a different question. The hype is so high. I'm not sure he lives up to it.
Yeah, you heard it here. Brandon Mills is a better basketball player. So, I mean.
I think the second basketball player in the draft is Amen Thompson, who went 4th. Maybe the best. I like that kid a lot.
Yeah, twin brothers go back to back.
Yeah, it's wild. But they're both they're both awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. My crumb of the week is the old man today. Umpire over this local tournament. He's a piece of shit. That's all. Just terrible.
I like that.
Terrible human being. Terrible human being. We've had history in the past. So I'm going to do my best to not say a word to this guy because I just know he's a bad human being. We had a kid foul one off the knee, and he was walking around. Back in the box. We don't need to walk around. Let's speed this up here. What?
MLB speed up rules.
Speed us up. I told the guy we don't have a pitch clock today, bud. They're allowed to get signs. It's okay. I mean, the signs don't take long. He woke up, had no coffee in him, and whatever. I hate pieces of shit. That's all. There's my comment of the week. Don't be a piece of shit.
I'm amazed that you why even do it? You would think that guys that go out there and ump like a kids games do it because they like doing it, because that sounds like the guy doesn't like doing it. So why are you even doing it? Then you're just an asshole. You're here as an asshole.
Yeah, he's definitely an asshole. So, but great show, boys. Good Phillies win. What were you going to say, Greg?
No, I said those guys definitely don't make those weekends fun as coaches and stuff like that when you get those guys.
No. They make it bad for themselves, too. Stupid. Yep. Just stupid. But, yes, Victor definitely does need to gain some weight ASAP.
Great show.
Great show. And another big week for the Phillies coming up. And make sure tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, Here's the Thing with Mitch Williams and myself. I'll be back on this week with Mitch. So that's tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't yet, hit the like, subscribe, turn your alerts on, and let's go. It's been a great disagree. For Greg Milakovic, Brian Wilson, no Nick Delgado today. I'm Tom Arnone. We appreciate y'all tuning in, and we are brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy, location in Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. We love y'all. We're out. Late.